What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in to a Heroes Escape, your place for all things Heroscape. Today I've got another tier list for you. This one is Wave 6, Dawn of Darkness, that came out in 2006. I'm pretty excited for this one because I actually own a lot of the miniatures from this release. At one point I owned all of them, but the archers and Kyrie expansion, I'm not exactly sure what happened to them over the years, but I don't have them anymore, and my Runa got broken. So those ones are not on display for you, unfortunately, but the rest of them are. Also in this one, there is a promo from Gen Con that came out. It is Sir Hawthorne, but I never got Sir Hawthorne. I've never been to Gen Con, so I don't have any of those figures. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the tier list. So, starting off, our first one on the list is Kimoshi. This character you might have seen in the webisodes back in the day when she put her amulet on Raylan and made her fight for her, essentially, which the theory is that maybe that's happened again in Age of Annihilation because our new Raylan figure is Utgar. But I've heard Renegade talk about Raylan's Vengeance or something coming up in the next wave of stuff. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get another Raylan figure. I would like to get another Master set. I know it's like really soon. Like we just had the first one come out, but you know, at some point I'd like to get another Master set. That's where the value's really at, right? So anyway, this is Kimo. She has a giant novel of text for her abilities. 4 life, move 6, range 1, attack 4, defense 4, 130 points. She and her ability is Mind Shackle 19, which is the same as Nigaxa, I believe. I think it's pretty much the same thing, but instead of I think on him it's a 20, but on this one it's a 19 or a 20. And you just do that every time after you move and before you attack. You choose any unique figure adjacent to her and roll the die. It's extremely low odds of getting that, but if you do manage to succeed at that, then that could very greatly turn the tides of war right there. You control the army card for the rest of the game if it succeeds, so pretty cool. Even if she's destroyed, you still control it. She also has Toxic Skin. After attacking, you must roll the 20-sided die once for each figure adjacent to her. If you roll a 17 or higher, that figure receives 1 wound. Soulborgs are not affected. That one, again, it's a low chance of getting it. And honestly, in my opinion, this is just too much stuff to be doing. Every single turn after attacking... Well, every single turn, twice per turn, you're rolling the 20-sided die. And you have to remember to do that. Your chances are low anyway. It feels kind of pointless. So she loses a lot of points for unnecessary stuff. Her attack and defense of 4 is like just kind of average for a unique hero. So probably, honestly, Kimoshi is B tier. I don't think she deserves to be any higher than that. But let me go ahead and show off the miniature here. So, yes, so that is Kimoshi right there. It's definitely a cool looking miniature. It's like a weird Maro spider thing. And that definitely adds to the coolness of the Maro. They have so many different forms that they take on. But she's creepy looking, which is kind of cool as well. We like the creepy stuff a lot of the time. But anyway, yeah, I just don't think she's all that impressive, if I'm being perfectly honest. Moving on, our next figure on the list here, this is the Tagawa Samurai Archers, and these are the ones that I lost, or I don't know if I traded them to somebody or what happened exactly, but there's 3 of them on the card, 1 life each. They move 5 spaces, range of 6, attack 2, and defense 3, 65 points for the card. And Kimoshi's point value was 130. So quite a bit of points for a lackluster hero. But anyway, Tagawa Samurai Archers is a common squad. You can have as many of them as you want. 65 points isn't that bad. It's pretty low, and they have a range of 6, which is great. They also have Counter Strike, which is something that pretty much all the samurai have, and it's such a good ability. When rolling defense dice against a normal attack from an adjacent attacking figure, all excess shields count as unblockable hits. It doesn't work against other samurai, but anyway, though, they have 3 defense, which is pretty good. I feel like this is a good unit, especially they have only 2 attack, but when you get them on height advantage, glyph bonuses, all that stuff, attack aura, things like that, they get very powerful. So I definitely would put them in A tier. Moving on, we have the Zombies of Morandan. And these ones are pretty cool in the sense that it comes with, they're a common squad, and the set actually comes with two sets of them. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, I ruined the card here, my bad. But, okay, we'll go on and read it. There's 3 to the card, 1 life each, move 4, range 1, attack 2, defense 3 for 60 points. And I've just recently, I'm always learning new rules to the game because I've never fully understood it growing up. But now I have a pretty good grasp on it. And I know that with common squads, if you have 6 or 9 or however many of them, you can move any figure. If you have an order marker on their card and you reveal it, you get to move any zombie you control, just so long as you only move 3 of them for that turn. So that's pretty cool. That actually is a lot of utility for based on where the zombies are at the time. These guys, the defense 3 is not bad. Attack 2 is not super great, but here's another wall of text we have to read. They have horde movement. You may move up to 6 zombies of Morandan that you control each turn. However, you may attack with only 3 zombies. You may attack with any 3 zombies, even zombies that you did not move this turn. So that's pretty cool too. Like, you get to move 6 of them every time if you have 6. Zombie Onslaught Special Attack, range 1, attack of 6. The 3 zombies of Morandan on the same level may combine their attacks and roll their attack dice as 1 attack. All zombies of Morandan in the attack must be engaged to the targeted figure. That is awesome. That makes them very devastating, actually. If a zombie Morandan that you control destroys an opponent's, this is Zombies Rise Again. Opponent's small or medium figure, replace that figure immediately, if possible, with one of your own previously destroyed zombies of Morandan. Newly placed zombies of Morandan cannot attack this turn. Undead are not affected by Zombies Rise Again. This card, this is just an amazing unit, and for only 60 points. You can have 2 of these in your army, and it's only 120 points. 3 of these is what, 180? I mean, that's just insane. This is really devastating. This is an S tier unit, if you ask me. The zombies of Morandan are so powerful when in a large horde. And here I have the miniatures for you that you can see. This one's holding a bone. He's got his hand out. I mean, that's one of them there. The next one, he's got a club. Pretty cool. And the third one that comes in the set is this guy that's like ready to tackle you like a football player. And yeah, I mean, this is just such a great unit. And who doesn't want zombies, especially in a game like Heroscape. Especially in a game like Heroscape when you have so many like soldiers and agents and all this stuff, you can really easily set up an awesome zombie survival set. I mean, if I got more zombies, I would set up a scenario that's like a zombie survival game that would be really fun. Next up, we have Runa, which again my figure broke, but she has 5 life, move 6, range 1, attack 3, defense 3, 120 points. Another wall of text, but half of that is flying. We know what that does already. The other half is Helm of Mitten Soul Aura. After moving and before attacking, Runa may use her Helm of Mitten Soul Aura. When using the Helm of Mitten Soul Aura, you must roll the 20-sided die for all figures within 3 clear side spaces of Runa. One at a time. If you roll a 20, destroy the figures. Destroy the figure. Runa's Helm Aura does not affect Runa. So this is literally a figure with a continuous Glyph of Mitten Soul ability that you can use every single turn. Well, you have to actually use it every single turn. And, yeah, it does say you must roll. I mean, that's pretty cool, like, and it doesn't affect her. It also, I believe, does affect your own figures if they're adjacent. So that is a bad thing. But, yes, so that's not so good. But you can easily just keep her away from your own guys. I think she's A tier. She, she's not super tough, but that's a cool ability. I'm putting it in A tier, even if it's just for the cool factor of it. It's definitely a cool ability. Now we have another common squad, the Shades of Bleakwood. Don't worry about all the text. One of them is stealth flying. We know that that's just flying, but they can leave an engagement without taking opportunity attacks against them. They have 1 life each, 3 to the card. They move a whole 7 spaces. Range 1, attack 2, defense 4, and they're 100 points for the unit, which is a little hefty. But I mean, their defense is pretty powerful though. So, Soul Devour. Before moving, each Shade of Bleakwood you control may choose an adjacent unique hero. Roll the 20-sided die once for each shade. If you roll 19 or 20, destroy the Shade of Bleakwood figure, then take control of the chosen unique hero and remove any order markers on his card. You now control that army card. That's awesome. Another mind control, like another take control of a figure ability, but it's the same odds as Kimoshi's. It's not great odds. You have better odds because you get to do it for each figure on the card. So you get to roll 3 times. I mean, that could probably be A tier, honestly, especially with their tough defense. Like, they're not easy to kill necessarily. They have 4 defense each. And I have 2 of these figures. The third one, I'm not sure where that one went. I lost it, unfortunately. But I will show off the ones that I have. We have this one that's clutching at you like some apparition, which it is an apparition, I guess, so that makes sense. And then the other one that I have is this one, which is just striding along with their hands held up to their chest in a goofy way. I'm not sure what's up with that, but the other one, we have to look at the card to see what it looks like. Unfortunately, I wish I still had it. All of these guys are so expensive that it's got its arms up, classic Ghost style. All of these unit figures are so expensive to buy these days. Unless you get really lucky on an eBay auction or something, you're not getting this stuff for less than $100 probably. I mean, it's insane. Oh yeah, we're saving that one. Next up, we have Elgrim, the Viking champion. He has 3 life, move 5, range 1, attack 2, defense 2, and he's only worth 30 points. Like, that's a tiny point value. He has overextend attack. After taking a turn with Elgrim, you may place a wound marker on Elgrim and take another turn with him. You may use this power only once during a round. That's interesting, and I feel like it could be useful. But he only has 2 attack and 2 defense. He's not very scary. And he has Warrior, Swiftness, Sprint, Spirit. When Elgrim is destroyed, you may place this figure on any unique army card. Elgrim's Spirit adds 1 to their move number on that card. That's kind of interesting. I mean, kind of some cool abilities, but with the very small attack and defense, I can see why he's only worth 30 points. It's nice if you just need to fill out your army with him, but he's really not that good. I gotta put him in C tier, to be honest. Moving on, we have the heavy... Oh, yeah, I meant to show off the miniature, too. My bad. So here's Elgrim right here. There he is. Basically, he looks like Gimli. So if you're doing some Lord of the Rings or something, or if you're playing D&D and you're playing a dwarf, he's a good miniature to have for that purpose. But yeah, we'll move on to the next unit here, the Heavy Gruts. And they, of course, have Orc Champion Bonding, as it seems like most Orcs do. Which you know that I always add points to them for that. That's so good. Before taking a turn with the Heavy Gruts, you may first take a turn with the Orc Champion you control. Amazing. And they have Disengage. But there's 4 of them on the card, 1 life each, move 5, range 1, attack 3, defense 3. They're worth 70 points. I mean, it's pretty good, and I would put it in C tier. Like, it's not amazing. I would put them in C tier if it wasn't for the champion bonding. That makes them B tier. If you have an orc army of all orcs, and they all have champion bonding, I mean, that's just an insane army. It would be so powerful. But here is what we're looking at for the miniatures. We got this one holding his axe up that way. We also have... We've also got this guy. He's just got his axe held straight up in the air. We've got this one also holding his axe kind of straight up in the air, but mine is all curled for some reason. I absolutely hate that about classic Heroscape miniatures, that their weapons are always bending. It's just so skinny and such a soft plastic that they're always bending, and it looks horrible. Then we have this guy who's got his axe in a ready position, ready to fight. And that is the Blade Gruts. Okay, moving on. Our next card is the Einar Imperium, another one that I lost the figures, unfortunately, which really sucks, because when I was a kid, these were my favorite Heroscape figures by far. I think these guys are S tier based off cool factor alone. They look so awesome with their wings and their double swords, even the purple pants and the gold mask, the whole thing just looks amazing. They have 1 life each with 3 to a card. They move 5, range 1, attack 3, defense 3. And they're worth 140 points, which is quite a bit. And stealth flying, we know what that does. But they also have double attack. When each member of the Einar Imperium attacks, he may attack 1 additional time, which is so powerful. I want to put it in S tier because of how awesome they are, but I don't think I can do that necessarily. They might have to be A tier. But I put the zombies in S tier, so I think they get to go S tier. And I'm doing that. I wanted to make this clear to everyone just because I think they're so cool. This is based on cool factor. I'm not a competitive player. I don't have experience with that. But next up we have Kemonawa. He has 4 life, move 5, range 7, attack 4, defense 4, worth 120 points. He's pretty tanky. He can take some he's got good defense. Low life but good defense. He has quick release special attack with range 4 and attack 4. When he attacks with his quick release special attack, he may attack 1 additional time. So kind of a Sekiro Sekiro boss type of move, like what's the guy's name, Genochi or something like that. Very cool. And he has Counter Strike, which we know what that does too. All the samurais have it. Captain America has it. It's such a great ability, which puts him for sure at least in A tier, if not S tier. Definitely A tier. Yeah, I don't think he's good enough to be S tier, but here he is right here. Now mine is a little different because his bow broke, but I did have a bow from one of the other archers that was also broken, so I glued it to this guy. So the top of the bow, as you can see here, is actually glued onto his bow. So the bow is shaped pretty strangely, but still an awesome looking miniature. The badassness of him would make him probably S tier, but I don't think his card is like S tier level. Last up, for the ones off of this expansion, we have Empress Kiova, 5 life, move 5, range 1, attack 3, and defense 4, 90 points. She has Gift of the Empress Aura. When you roll defense dice for any Kyrie that you control who follows Einar and is within 5 clear side spaces of Empress Kiova, you may reroll all defense dice that did not show shields. That's freaking crazy. That is so nuts. Gift of the Empress Aura can be used only once for each defense roll. Empress Kiova's Gift of the Empress Aura does not affect Empress Kiova. That is so powerful, especially if you pair her with the Einar Imperium, or whatever they're called, and Stealth Flying. And I want to put her in S tier for the sake of, if she's paired with the Imperium, it's just super strong. So yeah, that would be really good. We're putting her in S tier, and here's the miniature. I'll show you her. She's looking very regal and holding up her sword above her head. And the Kyrie are such an important part of Heroscape lore. And if you want to learn more about them, check out my video essay about the Kyrie in Heroscape and how they relate to Norse mythology that they're based on. And there she is. Moving on, we have 2 more to look at. The next one is a Gen Con release, which I do not have, but it is Sir Hawthorne. And definitely a cool looking figure based on the picture here. He has 6 life, so this guy is a tank. Move 5, range 1, attack 4, defense 4. He's worth 90 points. He has Blind Rage special attack. If Sir it's range 1, attack 3. If he rolls at least 2 skulls with his Blind Rage special attack, Sir Hawthorne may attack again with this special attack. Sir Hawthorne may continue attacking with it until he rolls fewer than 2 skulls. That's pretty cool. It's not as crazy as it sounds. You're only rolling 3 dice, so chances are you're not going to be continuously rolling 2 skulls. But if you do, it's pretty devastating. And then he has Stab in the Back. After you take a turn with Sir Hawthorne, you must roll the 20-sided die. If you roll a 1, choose an opponent. That opponent now controls Sir Hawthorne. Remove any order markers on this army card, then give the card to that opponent. I mean, I don't know. B tier, like, honestly, he seems pretty strong. Especially, I'm actually going to put him in A tier, because if you're playing more than a 2-player game, like a 4-player game, you could, and you roll a 1, you could pass him to someone that maybe you're a little more friendly with in the game at that particular time, and they could use it against your enemies. So that could be powerful. Last up, we have an honorable mention here, which is the Fortress Door. And I just had to do it because I'm going through every single unit ever released, and this expansion was released in the same year. I think it was 2006, yeah. And the Fortress Door has its own card to show that it's defense 4 and 10 life, which is ridiculous. Anyone that's played on a map with the Fortress knows that this door takes a long time to destroy. And when rolling defense dice against a normal attack from small or medium figures, add 2 automatic shields to whatever is rolled. When rolling defense dice against a normal attack from large and huge figures, add 1 automatic shield. So this thing literally is so hard to break. And for that reason, I'm putting it in F tier, just because it pisses me off every time I'm trying to get through this dang door. But actually, though, it is very cool that they made this breakable door to add into your games. And here it is right here. I will show it to you. So here's the Fortress Door. And how it works is that there's actually a bolt lock system here, and you move it out of place, and then you can open the door. And there's some specific rules on opening the door. You have to have a character standing in the correct spot, but as long as you do, you can open and close it at will. And yeah, so there it is. And that's our tier list for Wave 6, right? This one's Wave 6. I gotta remember. I've been doing so many of these now, I'm starting to get lost. But this is Wave 6, Dawn of Darkness. And that was our tier list for Wave 6 expansion from 2006. If you guys enjoyed that video and you want more Heroscape content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment about what your favorite unit from this expansion is, or if you disagree with any of my opinions on it. Again, I'm just basing it off of reading the card and deciding what I think. So, yeah, definitely hit the like and subscribe. I post videos all the time, lore videos, full playthroughs of the game, map building videos, tutorials on painting and customizing miniatures, all kinds of stuff. And check out my Valkyrie video essay for some really great lore on the Heroscape Valkyrie and how they relate to the mythological characters that they're, inspired by from Norse mythology. But anyway, that's all we have for today, guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.